All right, hello and welcome to the Super Baka Bros channel and tonight's episode of Neighborhood RPG. I am your co-host. Actually, no, not co-host. Sorry, I'm on my podcast brainwave here. I am your host and dungeon master, Angelo Baka, and we are going to be getting back into the Magic Jewel Heist campaign here shortly, which it should be a very interesting session tonight. And I just want to thank everyone for joining us on this Thanksgiving Eve, I guess you would call it. I hope you're all satisfied with whatever dishes you're trying to prepare for tomorrow and or have enough liquor to make up for not having the dishes prepared. So before we get into the stream itself, I'd like to just bring up real quick, we have above our heads here our follower goal, which is steadily got a little bit bigger. Yep, right there, Ted. We're chugging along, and the follower goal is going up. So that's a good thing to see. If you're watching this and you're not following, please hit that follow button. It is absolutely free, and it helps out this channel tremendously. So thank you ahead of time. Go ahead.
While we're on the subject,
yeah,
I believe that you had committed. We ended up having to abandon our stream last week.
Yeah.
But you had committed in that stream to embarrass yourself with some sick rapping on your part, some rhymes.
It's true. Yeah, this is true.
Some bars. I don't know what you kids are calling it.
I don't know actually the actual terminology, and I feel like we're really dating ourselves right now. But you're absolutely right.
Buster some rhymes.
Oh Jesus. Yes, I'm gonna buster the rhymes. At the end of the stream, we make it to the end of the stream. If you all are still alive, I will be laying down the track, if you will. I have no actual music, and I have nothing really written, to be honest with you. But I'm just gonna totally freestyle wing it. But at the end of the stream, absolutely, if you want to stick around, watch me embarrass myself because we met that follower goal. Please stick around and watch that because it should be at least cringeworthy entertaining.
I mean, I'd be willing to kind of throw you a bone and say maybe, usually I regale you with my amazing sense of humor during the kind of post-credit scene. Perhaps you could do your rhymes during there. People don't have to, suffer through your rhymes and look at your face while
doing
you do
this
it.
back and forth. Yeah, nobody wants that.
No one needs that.
Yeah, no one needs that.
Yeah, kind of save them the trouble of having to watch it and just have
that's
to
fine. And if I totally mess up the rhymes, I can just instantly bail and end the stream at that point. So Phil, you also wearing your producer hat. I love the idea, so thank you very much.
Got you.
Yeah.
Oh, and I don't want to throw anyone else under the bus, but I know Ted at one point was going to drop some sick rhymes. You mentioned you don't have any music. I don't know if Ted is proficient in the art of beatbox, but perhaps if we were to lay down a beat for you to rap over, then we can make this a team affair.
Let's see if we can get to the end of the stream alive, and then we'll go from there. How about that?
All right, see what happens.
So with that, yes, Phil, thank you for the reminder. I also want to quickly just bring up, because I want to get into this, Tabletop Audio. It is our music web browsing service that I use for the stream once we're actually playing the game. It's a really handy tool for your home or stream games, whether fantasy, modern, any TTRPG. Doesn't matter whether it's D&D or Shadowrun. It has all the different soundtracks and sound pad for different sound effects that you could ever want. Tabletop Audio, we're patrons of theirs on their Patreon, and highly recommend people using that because they really are a nice tool to have. That is all for all the business side of this. If you're all ready, we can go ahead and get into introductions. Yeah. Silence means yes. All right, let's do this.
I'm good. We're focused. We're ready.
That's good. That's good. I appreciate that. So we're gonna start off right off the top. Ted, if you could please introduce your character and whatever you want to say about them.
Oven's ready.
I know.
All right, so I am playing Aldrin, human paladin, who is feeling quite good after, I say, saving the jewel, blowing up the jewel. I don't know what we did there. Still a little confused about all of that. But what he's wondering now is, how are we going to get out of the mess we've got ourselves into? Where we're supposed to enlist the help of a dragon, and we head along into the dragon's cavern with someone who wants to kill the dragon. How will we get out of this predicament?
Ooh, very nicely done. Off the top of your head, I'm imagining too, but really nicely done, Ted. That was brilliant. I love it. Thank you very much. Great job. Next up, we have Chandra, and if you could please introduce your character.
Give her 1 second. She's cooking a pie, and she was checking it real quick right now. So
Hang
pass
out,
to Phil and
take
be
it
back
over
in a
to
sec.
Phil. Go ahead and introduce your character.
Sure. So my character is Drock the Defiant, the half-orc ranger, leader of the tribe of the redeemed, folk hero in this part of the world. Yeah, he's just been met his father for the first time in a long time. His father, who, as far as he knew, was out to kill him, searching the land for him so that he could avenge Drock having killed his half brother. So yeah, he's feeling a little uneasy about his father being here for this, with you dropping some sick rhymes later, I don't want the fans to have to lose out on our weekly tradition, and so I had a question for you guys actually. What type of key can never open doors?
You're gonna take an instant damage if you fucking pun right now. What type of key, Phil?
A turkey.
It's Thanksgiving. I'll give you that one. You can have
I
that
couldn't
one.
not do it. I mean, I lined it up. It was ready to go.
But thank you for the introduction. That was very nicely done. I don't know if Chandra is still grabbing the pie or not. I
got more jokes.
No, dude, please stop.
If we need to kill some time.
She's trying to cover the crust, so Phil, you get one more, and that's it. This one has
I'll
to
do
make
the
me
rhymes
laugh.
right now. I'll embarrass myself so I don't have to hear your jokes.
I can see her. She's hurrying up because she doesn't want to have to hear it across the room. Okay, honey.
Take care of the pie. The pie.
Okay.
The pie is crucial.
Phil, take it away.
Oh yay. Let's see, which one do I want?
You didn't prepare
you don't even have these off the top of your head. This is some shit that you have pulled up. You're cheating.
Hey guys. Hey friends. Where do you find a turkey with no legs?
Where, Phil?
Exactly where you left it.
Oh, okay.
I can't walk.
My pie issues caused this fair.
Oh wow. We have 1,000
the
followers
second
now.
one. The first one I'll take a pass on.
1,000 followers from that
Yeah,
one
it's
bad
exploded.
turkey joke. Yeah,
Wow. You're welcome. I mean, I saved the day.
The internet was set ablaze with the knowledge of your jokes, and they just came.
I think we're
came
trending.
coming. Yeah,
Can we do that?
All right, hit it.
Are we able to trend?
probably not.
I'm playing.
Oh, we can barely hear you.
Oh, sorry.
That's good.
Better?
Yeah, way better. Thank you.
Okay.
Take it away.
I am playing a Rinalor, a wizard, who, is kind of really sick and tired of putting his life in jeopardy over stuff that he doesn't really know if he should be involved with. He kind of thinks he's better than this, but he's with some people that he feels some small token of obligation to. So they'd probably die without him because he's the true leader. But yeah, so he'll stick it out with them for now.
Nice. Very much. Very much appreciate the honesty, Chandra. I think that's awesome, and we all know who the true leader is, so totally understandable.
Hey, brains of the operation.
So with that, if we are all ready, let's go ahead and while I try to multitask here a little bit, get into the previously on the Magic Jewel Heist. Unless anyone else has anything they would like to say.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there. Like I said, hope you're all ready for tomorrow and not too stressed out. It is only a dinner, and it should be relaxing. So just enjoy yourself, even if the turkey ends up horrible and your peach cobbler tastes like crap. So with that, let's go ahead and get into the previously on the Magic Jewel Heist. So, last time we left off, got a bit of an echo, Ted, just a heads up. Last time we left off, the Defiant Three with Sakun Darkbreaker, the mountain dwarf of Thun Baldur, had made their way to Mount Cagliostro to have a conversation, if you will, with the Frost Dragon, Ashwing, to get information on who is actually the organization, the cult of the Unseen Ones, who has been for over 500 years trying to take over the material plane and basically subjugate the ruling class of Monaco and all of Gallia. Once they got to the foot of Mount Cagliostro, which is covered in snow and ice, a brief encounter happened, a skirmish, if you will, that ended in one death from the other side and a reintroduction of North, Drock the Defiant's father, who last he knew was out looking for Drock after Drock had killed his half-brother and took off into Gallia by himself. A brief discussion was had between the two different groups. Found out that North is actually trying to kill the dragon for his god Groomish, the One Eye, and a very tense peace pact, if you will, was made, and both groups decided to go in together and try to find this dragon themselves. One with the intent to kill it, the other with the intent to have a conversation, if you will. So with that, that is where we leave off. Now, before we get into the actual game itself, here on the Super Baca Bros channel, and also NeighborhoodRPG, we have a little bit of a tradition. We're a little bit weird, if you will. Yeah, I know. I see the eye rolling, Phil. I appreciate that. My former nemesis, now turned into probably my best friend, Nick Bowder Esquire, after I destroyed him and turned him into a Mind Flayer goblet that I like to drink out of. In his honor, I like to say a little something he would say before any sort of game of chance. So if you could please, Phil, Ted, Chandra, anyone watching at home, raise your drinking goblets of choice and join me as I say, may your dice roll true and may you make it through. Meh.
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 Meh. All right. So, with that, shall we play?
Let's play.
I almost did like a let's get ready to rumble or something, but I had to stop myself. That was stupid. Let me, well, only half stop myself. Let me shut off this music real quick and switch over to this. Get some ice cavern stuff going on. There we go. Music you hear now, everyone, except for the players, unfortunately, because I haven't figured that shit out yet, is from Tabletop Audio. So I hope you all appreciate it. So, actually, let me turn that up slightly. That seems to be too quiet. That's a little better. Okay. So, as this very large group, Arenalor, Aldrain, Drock, Sakun Darkbreaker, and the other 7 orcs walk into the large cavern of this mountain, they're instantly struck with how dark the opening and furthermore into the tunnel is. It is completely pitch black. You feel the outside air that is shooting into the tunnel hit your backs as you walk just 10 feet into it. Everyone give me perception checks, please. With disadvantage, actually.
What?
It's pitch black.
What about me?
You do have dark vision. It would give you dim light, so you can roll with just regular.
Oh, dude. One die rolled. Excellent.
That sucks. I always hate that.
And my end result is a 5.
Very well.
You feel better when they both roll low. I don't feel so bad. But
Like you didn't waste a
when
good
one is
roll.
high and you're like, well, I could have had a good roll.
Yeah, at least it wasn't a 20.
Yeah, and this is not worth burning a reroll on inspiration from last game.
True, keep that in mind. You will definitely need that. Phil, what'd you get?
Ah, see that one, at least they both rolled low.
I got a natural 20.
Son of a bitch. All right.
You're killing me, bro.
Chandra, what did you get?
I rolled 2 3s.
Okay, fair enough. So for the humans, and this is very telling, the humans walk in, and as you look around, you really are caught off guard with how dark this space is. Obviously, your eyes are going to adjust after a little while, but you really can't see no more than 5 to 8 feet in front of you at this point. It just blacks out completely. You do notice some like small stones or mushrooms the size of a baseball that are glowing this like low blue hue that lights up maybe 5 inches around it deeper in the tunnel, but that's all you really can see. Drock, as you look into the tunnel and you have your father North standing next to you, his big large chest sort of breathing deep as the both of you are looking around, you see deeper into the tunnel and notice that the tunnel itself is not extremely wide, but it does kind of curve back and forth as it goes deeper in. And as you're looking furthest, you like kind of look down and go up. As far as your eyes can see, you see some sort of movement. It seems to like quickly scatter across your vision as you look up, and then it's gone. You can't see exactly how big whatever that movement was, but you do know that there's something about 60 to 80 feet ahead of you. Now, Arena Lore, as you walk into this space, I'm going to need you to roll a wisdom saving throw, please. And before you give me your number, Shazandra, thank you for the follow. Really appreciate it. Getting us closer to the follower goal. Much appreciated.
That's me.
I figured, I know. But I was so funny you said that. I was going to be like, if you don't know who we are, we're blah, 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 and then do my spiel. But you saved me from doing that, so I appreciate it. Much obliged.
Well, I think she's excited because regardless of what month it
Literally
takes
been
place
trying
in,
to join Twitch for like since we started this, and no matter how complex my password is, it says it's 2 weeks.
Oh, that's so weird.
I did like a bunch of random numbers, and it finally just allowed me to join. So now I'm a follower.
Well, very much appreciated. That's awesome.
I just rolled a 19, baby.
Ooh, okay. So, you step into the tunnel and you are hit instantly with some sort of energy. Your mind feels like, for a brief second, it's being pulled forward into the tunnel. Some sort of urge or desire to go deeper. Some sort of draw of arcane energy tries to pull you in, and the next second you fight against it, gritting your teeth and breathe and look about, not knowing what it is that was just doing that to you. Now, what would you all like to do?
Why is everyone slowing down? Keep moving.
I'm a light.
You sound quiet for a little bit, Chandra.
Yeah, I'm just pondering. Sorry.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I didn't know if you were away from the mic.
Light on my staff.
Okay, you're gonna cast light.
Yes.
Okay. So you take out your quarterstaff and use the cantrip light, and it lights up the area in the space around you.
Doc's gonna turn towards his father and say that there's something moving around fast down the cave about 60 feet down.
Your father's bare chest looks over at you and then back to the rest of the orcs and says, "See, boys, Drock was always good at finding what is going to be dangerous for us. Since you're so good at that, why don't you go ahead and take the lead, son?"
Well, I guguess someone has to.
And as he says this, the other orcs kind of snicker and laugh at the comments. Every time he says son towards you, they just kind of laugh a little bit. Chandra, so you got a 20-foot radius of light around you right now.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
proceeding cautiously.
Okay, so just so that we know, what is the marching order? The orcs immediately kind of fade to the back, it feels like. Darkbreaker, who has been kind of standing there very quietly, which is very uncharacteristic of him, is kind of in the middle. Who wants to go up first? Is it you, Drock?
I'll go first, but after my dad's comments, I'll say I'd be happy to lead us through the cave, though I may need you at my side so that if I find something dangerous, the great and powerful North will be there to keep the rest of the orc tribe safe.
He kind of looks at you for a moment, just contemplating. Go ahead and give me a persuasion roll.
16.
16. He just looks at you with the narrow eyes and says, "Okay, son. Lead the way. I'll be close by if you're gonna need me." And he's about 5 to 6 feet behind you, but you are in the front. The rest of the orcs still stay back. Who's up next behind North?
I'm gonna be backing up Drock for protection in case we run into a dragon, but also in case his shyster father tries to do something crazy.
Very good. All right. Chandra, you're going to be in the middle with the other wizard, Sakun Darkbreaker?
Yeah. I will be bringing up the rear of our group.
Fair enough. Okay. So, as you all start to tentatively walk forward another 10 feet or so, you see that the walls themselves are like frozen over. They kind of glisten and shine as Arinalor's quarterstaff that's lit up with his cantrip goes past it. This like beautiful array of minerals on the side of the wall that are trapped underneath the ice give you this amazing show. You get up to about 30 feet into this cave, and it's going straight-ish. It kind of wiggles back and forth. But as you get to about 30 feet, I'm going to need all of you to roll a deception check, please.
Is this what's the word for it? Disadvantaged for me?
No, it's not a perception sort of thing.
16.
Okay.
Oh. I got a 2.
Okay.
14.
Okay. Actually, let me do some rolls myself. 10A. That was a waste of 20. Okay. Okay. So, Arena Lore. As you walk in closer to the deeper, I should say, into the cave, for a brief moment, you get this flash, this moment in life, of your life, of history, and you could choose whatever this is, but this sort of dark secret about yourself that you don't want anyone to know, the fairies that you grew up with, the friends that you've just made, but for whatever reason, it's sort of brought up like a bubble to the top of your head, and whatever the memory is, if there's some sort of interaction with another person, some dialogue, you hear that dialogue as it would be, but also a gravelly sort of deep voice, kind of like two audio tracks on top of each other, is heard along with the regular voice. And you stand still for a moment as this like intense flashback hits you, and then as it's pulled away of the top of your head, the moment just flashes by. Yeah. North, who's just kind of standing there, because you've all kind of stopped as you got to this 30 mark. You all did your deception checks. Whatever that just happened, all of you briefly stopped. Everyone quickly continued on, but Arenalor. As Arenalor had that moment, it took about 5 to 10 seconds. North kind of looks around. Seems one of your pets is starting to trail behind, Rock.
Stop, turn around. Is he walking at this point?
Who, North?
No, Renalor.
If Arenalor wants to, yes. He's free from this moment.
What's a Renalor doing?
Pushing the timer back on the pie.
That's fair.
You can't mess with pies.
Yeah, pies are crucial.
So touchy. What happened?
Wait, did she hear any of
Did you
that?
not hear any of that?
Sorry.
Did you hear what happened to you?
I totally heard that part about the stuff going on in my head, but then I kind of lost it. And that's when I walked away.
So basically, everyone else kind of started to continue walking, but you were still standing there, having that moment. And North mentioned that one of Drock's pets seems to stop. Drock is wondering if you're moving. You can move now, but for about 5 seconds, you just stop.
I will advance, but I will give a very what the fuck look at North.
Okay. All right.
How is Ernalorn nearby, or would I have to kind of like make a point to go over to him?
I mean, like 5 feet, 6 feet away from you. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'll go over to him and just, are you okay? You seem a bit lost.
Yeah, I don't know what just happened. I had like a thought and then I lost it.
What kind of thought?
I can't grasp it really. I don't know what's happening. But it doesn't feel right.
Is Eldraine nearby?
Yeah, similar 5 to 6 feet away.
Would he be part of this conversation or hear this?
Yeah, if he wants to.
Eldraine, did you hear what Renalor said?
Heard? She had a brain fart. We're doing all right. More concerned with um, north at the moment.
Yes, my father is a monster, but there's another monster at the end of this cave we need to be worried about, and we don't really know what kind of, true power this dragon holds.
True.
We should.
Well, we haven't even made it to the dragon yet, which we'll deal with that when we get to it.
Maybe we can all just kind of keep an eye out for each other in case we notice that anyone's having a hard time in the caves.
You doing all right?
And Renalor just kind of quietly just stands there contemplating. So if you guys want, you can continue walking into the cave. North really eyeing the three of you closely. Darkbreaker still is very silent right now. Not really talking too much, and he keeps looking around this cave. Kind of staying off to the side to himself.
Am I aware that Zagun is acting kind of odd?
Roll me an insight check.
I'm not the most perceptive of. Oh, okay, come on.
Insightful.
Hey. What do you know? I'm proficient in that.
In perception?
No, insight.
I thought he said a perception check.
You said insight, right? Not perception?
Insight. Yeah, you said perception,
Oh.
Ted.
I was like, otherwise, yeah, then it's not. So 8, 9, 10, 11 plus 14.
14. Yeah, you do notice that. You see him like darting his eyes around. He looks down, he looks up. You definitely notice he's acting very weird.
Darkbreaker, you doing all right?
Well, but of course. He kind of quickly, like almost instantly says before you even finish your sentence, I'm always doing all right. I am, of course, a mountain dwarf, and this being a mountain, I am very efficient in mountains, if you will. Just kind of nervously pulls his beard.
Seem a little distracted there.
Oh, it's a very cold mountain. It's been some time since I've journeyed into a mountain cold as this. But I would say let's keep our eyes open and be aware.
All right. Phil, no looking up dragon stats. I'm watching you, man. I know what you're doing. I know how gamers work.
I'm a natural explorer in the mountain, so I was double checking to see what kind of benefit that got me.
So, we continue forward?
Yeah, I would just add on to Aldrain towards Sakun and just say, yes, we should keep an eye out and make sure, Sakun, that if you sense or know of anything that we may not be aware of, that you make sure that you let us know.
But of course, always.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. The group continues forward. The orcs, who are very anxiously wanting to get to this dragon, are murmuring to themselves as you all continue forward another 15, 20 feet or so. And as you go ahead.
Can I make a roll of some sort to get a feel for what they're murmuring about between each other?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a perception check and see if, using your ears, if you can hear what they're saying.
What would I need to do to make it an insight check?
You definitely can't do an insight check if you're trying to hear what they're trying to do, but I appreciate the hustle.
If you can
All
read
right.
minds, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's not good. Yeah,
Natural 20.
6.
6.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, you're not extremely familiar with orcs, and the way that they're murmuring is almost like you can't even understand what they're saying. They're speaking common, but you have no idea what they're talking about. As the group continues forward, you finally get to this sort of semi-opening area that splits off in 3 different spaces. You see off to the right a very narrow opening. It's about 5 feet wide. Goes straight off into like a narrow space, and then to the left straight and to the right straight. The path kind of diverges.
The tiny way we know is not the right way. Right?
Is that Aldrain talking?
Yeah, is that?
Yeah.
Could you explain the different paths again?
So, as you walk up to this sort of somewhat of a circular area, just directly to the right of you is a small opening. It's about 5 feet wide, and you see it just kind of go straight away, and you can't see what's at the end of it, but there's all these glowing stones, if you will, lighting up. So you can see that it's fully lit by, like, the whole space is lit up by these glowing stones. And then going off to the straight ahead, to the left and to the right, it kind of curves this way and curves to the right and left. 2 larger paths that are wide open. If you guys want to roll a perception check to get an idea of what you're looking at from where you're at, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to try, but we'll see how well it goes.
Fair enough.
Oh! That time I got a 20.
There you go. There you go.
So I have a 22.
But did you roll with disadvantage?
No, am I supposed to?
Yeah, you're... Oh, no, there is light. My bad. With the Renalor's light, you do not roll with disadvantage. So, Renalor saved you.
16.
16? Okay. What did you get to... 1? Fair enough. Okay.
I'm getting new dice for Christmas.
There you go.
They're going to be just as hot and cold, dude.
So after hearing Darkbreaker say what he said of Renalor, you're kind of put on alert by Darkbreaker's words and how nervous he said them. So you really don't get a good idea of what's ahead of you. You're kind of quickly looking around. But Drock and Aldrain, especially Aldrain, as you look ahead, you can actually see if one of the glowing stones that's up in the wall directly ahead of you, looks like a body, a corpse of some kind, is laying on the ground. And there's a large blood stain that is just being lit by this glowing stone, going away from where you're at. Off to the left, you can see, and not in the light, but in shadow, it looks like there is another body as well, and a pool of blood.
We should probably see how long ago they were killed, maybe get an idea as what might have killed them. Investigation, I think, right? Is that, yeah, that's a skill. Does somebody have it? Because I don't.
That's one option. We could also decide not to go down the 2 caves that have dead bodies in them.
Darkbreaker walks up and says, "What was that? There was bodies? I did not see any bodies anywhere."
If you had the eyes of an orc or a boastful human, you would see that there's a body straight ahead and in the path to the right as well.
Maybe when you see something like this, you might want to alert us of it instead of just having a conversation by yourself.
We talk to each other first, and then.
Oh, I am out of the group. I understand. You 3 talk to each other first, and then you'll talk to me. I understand completely, Drock.
We're talking to you now, okay?
We've been trying to include you. I mean, we just, checked in with you on how you were doing, and you clearly didn't. You clearly weren't forthright with exactly how you felt. You're clearly uneasy about something in this cave, though you said that everything was fine.
Everything is fine, except for your rudeness. But I digress. Shall we look at the bodies?
Yes. Can I make an investigation check?
You can make a medicine check if you're trying to see how long the bodies have been there in the cave.
All right. So my medicine check is 17.
Okay. So you walk up to this area and you see that the body itself is completely just mangled. The flesh has been ripped, these like huge large gashes, about the size of a human, if you will, not a large creature, and just like crudely ripped in multiple different areas. When this being was alive, it was more than likely a human, maybe elf or half elf, but definitely died a very gruesome death, if you will.
Could you tell about how long ago?
How long? I mean, definitely weeks, if not months. It's been there for a while.
Not
It's starting to.
I just want to know, like, is it like, oh, this happened yesterday, and this dude?
No, you can definitely tell this is something that's been there for a bit. While this is happening, Darkbreaker is tore away from the group and is actually heading down that like narrow area off to the right by himself.
But the one to the
Somebody
right.
go grab that guy.
I'll follow after him.
Okay. So as you see Darkbreaker get to this tunnel off to the right, this small dwarf with pink hair actually has to go sideways and like scuttle through some rocks. He can actually even fit through this. He's like just going away from you. As you come up to the area, you see you cannot fit through this.
Sakun, where are you going? We should stay together.
Yes, that is a good idea, but I thought there could be something down here, something interesting, something for me, possibly.
Well, you said to the right, so this is the other one that had the dead body in it, right?
No, this is the one that when you immediately got up there, like straight to the right, there's a small, narrow crack, cave area.
There's not one of the three walkways?
It's not one of the two. So there's three altogether, one that hooks to the left, one that hooks to the right, and then one that's just a straight to the right. So you investigated, Ted or Aldrain investigated the hook to the right and saw that body. The one to the left is uninvestigated, and then the straight off to the right is where Sakun Darkbreaker is going. And actually, why don't we just do this?
I would like
Yeah, if there was a map.
the body for any useful information.
So you're gonna check the other body?
I'm checking all the bodies.
Sure, go ahead and roll me an investigation check as you walk up to the bodies. Aldrain or Rinalor, give me a deception check, please.
Deception?
Yes, please.
You said mine was investigation?
Yes.
Uh, 18 total. Is it possible for me to? Is she walking up to pilfer the body next to me that I just examined?
That's up to you, Rinalor.
As she reaches out her hand, I'd like to just stop her from pilfering the dead and ask that he have a little bit of tact and respect for those who have passed.
I'm looking for clues.
Those clues should not find their way into your coin purse.
Okay, so The dead body off to the right, upright is the one that Ted did the medicine check on. Sakun Darkbreaker is heading this way over here, and then this body going up to the left is the place that has not been investigated yet.
So, do I find anything?
I didn't hear your roll. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, I got a 19.
You find, actually, let me double check that. You actually find 300 gold pieces.
Yeah.
No.
Shuddy. Said the man who couldn't afford his own armor.
And by this time, Darkbreaker is gone. He's like out of sight from you, Drock.
Did he respond to my last comment?
What was your last comment again?
I don't remember. That was a long time ago.
Something about staying together, I think.
Oh yeah, and why he was going down there.
He said that there's something that might be for him, something interesting.
Okay. All right.
North.
Which way did he just go?
He went directly to the right. So you're standing.
Okay.
You're standing right here. As I block the camera, you're standing right here. He went this way.
Alright, I'll trot off behind him.
You can't get down the tunnel. Only Darkbreaker can get in there. He's small enough to make his way. So you could stand there next to Drock, waiting for him to come back. But as all this is happening, North walks up and goes, "Son, I don't want to rush you or anything, but seems to me you're all dilly-dallying about when we're trying to make our way to the dragon. Is there something that is troubling you?"
Well, I have to admit we do tend to dilly-dally, as you say. We're burdened with the insight that allows us to have killed many large beasts and ventured all over this world and live to tell about it. If you so care to, you're welcome to venture down the bloody cave on your own, but we just want to make sure that we all have the greatest chance of getting out of this alive.
Why don't you roll a perception check real quick?
I mean, it's kind of true. Oh, come on, man. You said deception?
Persuasion.
Persuasion. It's a little bit better. 11. No, 10.
10. North just kind of nods quietly to you. I think it'd be better if we all waited together. Don't want anybody getting hurt. You know what I mean, son? And he just walks off before you can even respond. Gets back together with his orcs. And about this time, Darkbreaker comes out of the crack, and he's like covered in frost and ice. You see him; he's fairly happy with a happy look on his face.
The real shit-eating grin you got, Sakun. What'd you find?
He looks up at you, not even really noticing that you're there. Honestly. Oh, sorry. What was Aldrain and Arenalor's deception checks real quick? I forgot about that.
I rolled, and I told you, and now I can't remember what I rolled. You didn't look at that before you picked it up, did you? Can't remember what I rolled.
I don't think Chandra rolled yet.
Crap. It was in the middles. It wasn't high and it wasn't low.
Give me a number, and I'll take it.
It was like a 13 or a 14. I can't remember which one.
You choose.
It was take the lower because I can't remember.
Okay. Chandra, what was yours?
So, thought it was a 9, but
Was the 19 for your investigation check?
Yeah, that was. Okay, so I guess I did roll for
I don't think you rolled the deception because I rolled it and then you. I did because I did, and I told him.
All right.
Yeah, I was trying to mess with the map. My apologies.
That's karma for stealing.
Uh,
It's stealing.
What'd you get?
1 again.
Once again, this and a more intense secret is pulled to the top of your brain, one that kind of shakes you to the core, whatever this secret is, and any sort of dialogue in it, there's no longer your voice or somebody else's voice. It's just this gravelly voice as you're visiting whatever this sort of memory is. You're kind of shaken to your core at this moment, as once again the memory kind of goes to the top of your brain and is like sucked upward and out and away.
I am going to dramatically drop to my knees and reach out.
Okay.
I'm not looking at you. I'm looking at your character. My character is looking at your character like that, going, "What the?" Continue.
And as this happens, Darkbreaker is about to say, "Well, I found," and then Arinalor drops to his knees and does that sort of gesture.
I'm going to exclaim, something's not right.
All the orcs kind of like pull their weapons and are looking around.
What is it?
Sure it is. You lifted a dead man's money, and his soul is probably tearing away at your conscience right now. And then I spit.
Darkbreaker walks up and he goes, "You're so emo, Aldrain. Jesus. What is happening, Arinalor? Tell me."
Keep having these memories that are being pulled from my mind, and I can't remember. It's like I'm lost in a dream. I don't know what to do.
That is not good. I think we
Sounds
need
like-
to be alert.
Do you know what that is, Sakun?
Let me check. I have a thought on what it could be, but I'm not sure. Caves have many different creatures and beings in it that could possibly be a danger to us. But I'm not sure.
Well, it seems to be mostly happening to Arinalor, so perhaps we all need to make a point to keep an eye out for him. See if we
That
notice
is-
something like that happening again.
That is a very good point.
Well,
Shall we
that's why I'm the
continue?
leader.
Aye.
Can I look at the other body quickly?
Can you what?
Look at the other body very quickly.
Sure. Go ahead and investigate the other body.
Well, it was medicine, right?
Yes.
So 16, 17, 18, 19 total.
19 total. As you go to look at this body, you
No,
can
no,
see,
18. Sorry. I was looking at the wrong modifier. I was looking
Fair
at charisma, not wisdom.
as you go to look at this body, you can see that the hand has been ripped off, like very crudely. It's just ripped completely off, and the skin around its face has been peeled away. You can see inside, like through the cheeks, almost like a Two-Face sort of look, that the face was eaten and probably was eaten alive.
Something ate this man. Well, person.
And as you're looking at this body, toward the back where the orcs are, in the very, very back, you hear a quick noise, almost like a whoosh. And all the orcs turn around and yell in common, "Hey!" And are very startled as they all turn around and look toward whatever that noise was. They rush over to whatever the origin of that noise is, and they're just like looking confused.
I am going to draw the attention back on me Because
Of course.
I'm going through some serious things here.
Okay.
What's happening? Someone needs to help me. And I'm going to faintly reach out like I need someone to help me to stand up.
I can give her a hand up.
Okay.
I believe you're over by me, right?
Yeah, both of you were looking at bodies, so you'd be close to each other, yeah. So as you help Arenalor up, he's kind of shaking a little bit from the different things that he's seen recently. All the orcs are like super confused away from you, and you see North come walking up to you and the four of you and says, "Well, seems something just took one of my men. We have no idea where it came from, and it's gone in an instant."
I expect we'll find him looking like these other two bodies soon.
And this large orc looks down at you, because he is actually taller than you, Aldrain, and just smiles at you and says, "I pray you don't end that way as well. Now, if you're all done dilly-dallying, let's continue, goddammit."
Can I sandwich Arenalor in marching order between Drock and myself?
Yeah.
I preferred it.
I'd rather you not.
Drock, what are you going to do?
I'm not really gonna respond to North.
Okay. But are you moving or staying?
I wanted to check in with Sakun.
Sure. Go ahead.
You didn't have a chance to tell us what you found down there yet. You seemed pretty happy with yourself.
He's just kind of like tugging at his mustache in his beard. "Well, I found a scroll of some kind wrapped in very interesting looking silk. Down at the end of that tunnel, yes. Seems to be a revivify spell."
Revivify?
"Yes.
Hmm.
Something I actually do not know. Something meant for me, of course. It
What?
called out to me.
What called out to you?
The spell, the scroll, if you will. I can hear
Really?
it. Yes." And he turns to Renalor and says, "You too must feel it in here, don't you, Renalor? The arcane energy, the weave itself, seems to be calling to me."
It's pie time.
Oh, so Renalor's
I
gone.
feel like,
enough.
unfortunately, every time he gets up to run and go check it is right as you decide to say something to him.
Yeah, well,
I apologize to all the viewers. We're kind of doing a little bit of double duty tonight in prep for tomorrow.
which is understandable. It's Turkey Day Eve, so. Phil, is there something you wanted to say while this is happening?
Multiple things in the oven she's working on.
No, maybe they can
And-
have that conversation as we walk.
Sure.
We can circle
I
back
am
to it.
giving moral support.
So we checked the two bodies. I guess maybe can I kind of quickly check each kind of pathway, kind of look down the pathway to see if I get a sense of which way would be the best way to go.
Sure. Go ahead and do a nature or survival check, and with advantage because you are in a mountain.
Sagun Darkbraid was trying to talk to you. You gotta catch up. All right.
19.
Okay, so
Promise.
as you look into the left and the right space, you can see that the left space, about 30 feet, kind of dead ends. So there is the end of that as you look at it. When you look to the right, you do notice that there seems to be another corpse of some kind about 15 feet ahead of you, and a whole bunch of more blood. And then that continues straight, and then there's another curved pathway kind of dipping back to the right, coming toward the direction you came from, but off to the right.
Well, it looks like the walkway on the right is our best option, but there's obviously something in this cave that's maybe trying to pick us off. I think from now, perhaps we should make sure that we do not stop or slow down.
Type marching order.
And we, yes, we keep our eyes out for any quickly moving, moving quickly within our general vicinity.
I'm gonna take out. I have a what is it like 30 something feet of rope. I have the adventurer's bag. It has a bunch of rope in it.
Yeah.
I would like to suggest that our small group here each takes this rope and ties it around us and then knots it and then passes it to the next person so that we're all tied together should something try to grab one of us and rip one of us away.
Just the four of you, or with the orcs as well?
Well, I don't think there's enough rope for all of the orcs. How many orcs are there?
6 of them now.
How many feet of rope is in the adventurer's pack?
50 feet. I would say
Got
if you
enough?
wanted to, you could. It would be probably all the way to the end of it, but this is totally your choice.
Brock, what are your thoughts?
I'm pretty indifferent. What do you think, Renalor?
Because one of snatched up. I don't want to get snatched with you.
It's not going to pull all of us. So it might be better to do
Okay.
the orcs as well.
You can try
Well-
to convince them if you want to do that. It's up to you guys.
From the size of the wounds it looks on that, it's big enough to pull one, but not big enough to pull us all away.
Drock will turn. What was that? Sorry.
What'd you say, Renalor?
Says you, Eldraine, the least intelligent of our group.
Well, whoever's in, take an end and tie it around you. And I'm just offering it up to everyone then.
I'll turn to North and say that since something is picking off members of our group, the four of us are going to tie ourselves together with this rope. If you have rope and you feel so inclined, you may want to do the same.
He looks at you and says, "Oh, that's a fancy idea. I might take that up with the men. Appreciate it there, son." They all kind of laugh.
So we'll get going. We'll tie
Anyone-
it around ourselves.
So you're taking the rope, Drock?
I'll go in the front.
Sure. Aldrain, are you taking, or Renalor, are you taking the rope?
No.
Okay. Darkbreaker is not taking the rope.
I think you both should take this.
Well, I appreciate you thinking that, but to be honest with you, I am good on myself. Let us continue. And he just kind of, not even waiting for your response, almost going past Rock, starts walking with some sort of a purpose. Which way are we heading?
Right side.
Okay. So as you go another 10, 15 feet, you're now standing in the kind of open area where there's the bigger blood puddle and another corpse. And then you can see from behind to the right is another path, kind of coming back the way that you guys came from, but off to the right.
Is it big enough for us?
Yeah, it's big enough.
Can I take a look down the cave?
Sure, absolutely.
Can I use a detect evil?
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead.
I got a 12.
And you're looking down the smaller
Little-
cave to the right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So as you and I'll get to your detect evil in a second. As you look down there, you see that it opens up after another 15 to 20 feet or so, and you see some glowing stones, and it kind of goes down south, like the direction you guys came in from the entrance of the tunnel, but that's all you can see. Aldrain, you kind of pray to your god, Amontador, and as you do this, you feel the warm energy from them, and as you do, you reach out to sense any good or evil, and you're instantly hit by excuse me, you're instantly hit by North, and a couple of the orcs are just radiating evil energy. But then as you push your senses further to the extent that they can go, you're above your head, underneath you, and in the walls themselves are surrounded by evil energy right now. And specifically, like, the largest place of that is straight ahead from where you're, like, the large path is where it's coming from. But it's moving around.
Oh, really?
Yep.
We're in a bad spot. I sense evil everywhere. It's surrounding us.
Well, what do you think we should do?
Be prepared. We should make sure we're all tied together.
Why? So it could be a snap.
While you're all talking, you hear another, like, loud shout as one of the orcs yelled something and is instantly cut off. It's like, ah! And the orcs quickly turn around, and whoever was standing there is now gone, as they're kind of, like, grunting and yelling and clattering their weapons across their chest. North comes up to the four of you after having a conversation briefly with his other orcs, and says, "We're gonna have to make this a hurried expedition. I'm losing men left and right."
Can I
Cause
can I do an investigation check to see, like, I mean, are there holes in the ceiling that these people are getting ripped into, or like where are they disappearing?
Go ahead. You can do an investigation or perception check, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
And North is, like, kind of in your face at this point now, Drock. He's looming over the top of you and says, "I don't know if you're trying to get my men killed or not, but we need to stop having our little conversations and get to where we're getting to, son."
Well, if you feel like you'd lead this group better, I'd welcome you to do so, Dad.
What'd you roll, Arinalor?
15.
So as you're looking around, the cave walls, they go up, and there's, like, rocks and stuff, and you're looking down for any sort of holes or anything like that, to see if there's anything where they can come in and out of. You don't notice anything on the ground, but as you, like, look around and go to look up high on the ceiling, you see something move. It looks like a rock at first, but as it moves, it kind of just goes parallel with your vision, and as it's moving parallel with your vision, you see what looks like shoulders and a head, like, turn towards you, and as this sort of rock looking figure looks at you for a brief moment, you see what looks like would be a normal looking head, but it's elongated and has, like, jagged features on the side, and the dead center of it, right above where this, like, sick looking mouth that's full of jagged teeth, is one large eyeball. This green eyeball that looks at you for a moment, blinks, and then you see it just kind of quickly hide behind some rocks after it sees you.
Okay.
I guess anything.
I'm going to shout. How far away are Eldraine and Drock?
They're right next to you.
We're right
Oh,
here.
okay. I'm gonna shout that I saw something. A one-eyed monster.
Cyclops in here.
Where is it?
It's retreating. And
It was
I'm
just
unable to see
Directly
where it's going.
ahead where you were at.
Okay. Forward.
Let's keep moving. That's where I felt. Well, yeah.
Well, should we find a different way to go if it's directly ahead of us?
What was that, Drock?
Should we find a different route to take if it's directly ahead of us, or do we feel like we can hurry past it?
Well, apparently Eldraine thinks we should just charge ahead willy-nilly.
Willy-nilly. Carefully.
Darkbreaker kind of walks up to everyone and goes to you, Renalor, and says, "Did you say one eye?"
Yes. Yes, I did.
Well, that is not good.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
That could be a Nothic. Which is a being you should know very well, Renalor.
My memory has been very fuzzy of late. Can you refresh it?
Nothic is a being that is typically a wizard of very powerful control over the weave. Their obsession with ancient arcane knowledge drives them to madness as they delve deep into dungeons and caverns, seeking some sort of precious knowledge that drives them completely mad. The undead god, Vecna, puts a curse on them, and they turn into these abominations that you may have just seen. We must tread carefully. If there's one, there's sure to be numerous of them.
Would it be best for us to just race through this cave as quickly as we could, or should we be more cautious of that?
I think all of us should be looking outward, possibly in a circle as we move. They typically like to attack from behind.
So, Dad, did you hear that? What do you think of us forming a large circle as we make our way through the cave?
He looks at you and says, "Well, I got no problem with that. Just as long as you and your pets are up front."
I kind of murmur to my...
all way.
They're mainly picking us off from behind, but okay. Yeah, sure, I think we can do that.
All right, can we make it a circle?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
do it.
So as you make the circle and you're heading straight ahead,
Yeah.
you kind of so you make this large circle, and you're gonna have to step through this like large blood puddle actually. As you walk past the second body that's lying there on the ground, you can quickly, without any sort of roll, see that the third body now is some sort of humanoid, just like the other ones, but all you can see is the upper half. The other part's been ripped off of this body, and the blood stain, it looks like it was crawling away from whatever did this to it, and is just basically this look of horror on their face. There's this large puddle of blood is just sitting there.
pretty grisly.
Move this
And then
up.
is Renalor's light still?
Yeah, if he wants it to be. It lasts for a long time.
Okay. Because obviously
Isn't
we're in a
that
circle, but
concentration?
then we're also kind of paying attention.
That was concentration.
No,
That's
it's
just a
not.
cantrip, right?
Yeah, it's just cantrip.
Read it.
So
Oh, just 1 hour. I thought it was longer than that. I thought it was just like concentration. All right.
So as you continue to walk, do you just want to keep walking, or anyone want to roll any perceptions while we're walking?
I'll roll a perception.
Sure.
Okay.
Considering the fact that I've been rolling ones all night.
Means you do.
Oh, a 5.
Do I see some moss on the wall?
You see the glowing stone, and it kind of catches your eye. It makes you think of the fairies that raised you for a brief moment, as you don't notice anything else.
16.
As you look around, you're almost, you know, that like weird sort of feeling when you go to look this way to the left, and in the corner of your eye you see like a movement, and when you go to look to your right, it's like a similar thing. As you look around, you see multiple sort of scenarios, sort of feelings of you looking left and right. You see movement, but you can never quite catch and see what it is. As you're making your way through this area, something is definitely keeping an eye on you as you walk through.
Wait, got my swords ready.
Okay,
I see him ready his weapon. I want to ready mine.
fair enough.
You know, I excel in spells.
You
I
do what
also
with the
have-
spell?
I excel spells. I also have a crossbow that I would like to ready.
Okay, you pull out your crossbow. All this is happening. The orcs all have their weapons out this whole time, and they're just kind of looking around frantically. As Sakun Darkbreaker sees this, he has his quarterstaff out that has this like glass ball attached to it, and he's kind of like two-handed aiming it forward as he's walking in his circle area space as well. The group continues on straight ahead, and as it does, it comes around this like large boulder area. Actually, let me put this down this way a little bit, and there we go. So there's this large boulder. It's like spire boulder in front of you. As you come around the corner, you see footprints, like bloody footprints, that are absolutely massive. They look to be like 15, maybe 20 inches long. And they're heading away to the right.
So do we have to go around this pile of rocks to the left?
Correct.
Okay. I'd be fine to continue if you guys want to continue.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
We haven't lost any more orcs.
Move the map real quick. It's here.
It seems at least on the map that there's almost like a little pile of blood where it starts. Is this something that we would notice?
Yeah, absolutely. There is a huge like puddle of blood right there. There is no body, there's no bones, there's nothing. There's just a blood, and then the bloody footprints going away from it.
I kind of investigate, see if there's any signs that there was once a body, or
Sure, go ahead.
what am I doing? Investigation?
Yeah, investigation.
18.
As you look at the puddle of blood, it almost dips downward. It pulls enough to be about 5 inches deep. That's how big this was. So whatever it was that caused, that came from this blood, must have been fairly large. But you do not see any sort of body or anything. Any remains, any clue that anything was there. Looks like whatever caused this blood to drop right there took whatever it was away from it. It never touched the ground.
Wow. Hmm.
And right now the orcs are like, you could tell they are on alert right now. They're looking around. They keep hearing noises and are just ready for anything. Renalor, give me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Absolutely.
For you.
And Aldrain, Drock, give me a deception check, please.
Oh, shit.
Deception.
9.
17.
17.
I got a 20, but not natural. It was a +3 for my charisma.
Okay, so Renalor, for a brief moment, you once again feel this sort of pull, this arcane like desire to find some sort of secret arcane knowledge, trying to pull you toward where the bloody footsteps are going. But you, with your strong constitution, you just fight it away, almost causing you to take a step that direction, and you just catch yourself, and you're standing there thinking, why the hell would you do that? Drock, you rolled low?
Yeah.
As you're standing there, you have this memory, the secret, just pulled to the top of your head. Possibly the day that you killed your half-brother, the conversation that you had, this gravelly voice mirroring whatever the conversation was being said. But as you remember this, you remember the satisfaction of killing your half-brother and how you secretly reveled in disposing of this evil and disgusting being. It kind of sucks toward the top of your head, and you can feel it being pulled up and away from you.
Does Drock respond similarly to how Renalor did?
Yes.
Well, I'm not going to drop to my knees, but kind of, waver a bit, maybe kind of lose my bearings for a moment.
Okay.
And then look over at Renalor. Earlier when you'd mentioned that you had some strange experience where you'd remembered something from your past. I believe I may have just experienced that myself.
Yes. Go on.
I just remembered some deep, dark secret from my past, and it almost felt as if it was being pulled out of my brain through the top of my head.
I felt that as well.
You hear Darkbreaker, the mountain dwarf, as he's like standing in the circle looking over his shoulder at the two of you. That would be the Nothic. They are definitely trying to steal dark secrets from you. You're going to need to be careful. If they are around us, we might be in trouble.
Is there a spell I can perform to block them from interfering with our minds?
Not one that I know off the top of my head. I don't know what our play is here, Drock. But we either need to move or we need to make a stand and decide quickly.
Would it be if they're in the darkness along the walls and ceiling, would it be useful for us to perhaps throw some large attack in that direction, like a fireball or a thunder attack of some kind?
It could, but it also could be a waste of a spell. And you hear North kind of yelling over his shoulder. Are we talking about our feelings back there, or are we gonna get to this damn dragon?
Well, hopefully most of us do. Yeah.
And you see this like knowing look that he gives you, Drock.
I try to use hold person, but I would need to be able to get a good look at it to cast it.
I think we
How
should
about
keep
we
going.
Start running towards it. See
What do you want to
happens.
do?
How about we have the orcs start us to see what happens? They think it's not a big deal.
If the Darkbreaker kind of stunned for a moment, says, if you want to be the one to suggest that to them, I say go ahead.
Yes, I will not include myself in your offer.
And North,
I
looking
would
over his
never-
shoulder, says, what are you all talking about? What are we doing?
I would never assume that, Drock the Defiant. But I believe I said it loud enough for them all to hear. Advance, if you are so brave.
So the orcs hear this and they all kind of chuckle for a moment. And North picks this up and says, yes, we are definitely brave, but we are not stupid, human. Now, do we all move at once? Or should we make a stand here?
We can vote. I think we should keep moving.
Yeah, I'm with Doc.
What do you think, Governor?
Keep moving.
Okay.
Sagoon?
I say we keep moving, but we need to be careful.
How about you, Father?
I'm always ready. Let's move forward, son.
Then you follow me.
All right. So you're moving forward?
Yeah. Circle.
Okay. So, this large circle, you start moving forward toward where the footsteps are
That's the only
heading.
path, right?
I mean, from what you can see, yeah, this cavern kind of opens up large and kind of curves around. And the footsteps are heading in a direction. Actually, go ahead and everyone give me a perception check real quick.
I keep forgetting. 18.
Okay.
$13.
Okay.
16.
Okay. Everybody but Aldrain notices in the direction heading toward where the bloody footsteps went, there is some sort of like large pile of something there. At first as you see it, it almost looks like numerous different rocks just piled up, like smaller, kind of elongated rocks. But as the circle starts heading forward, you see that this pile of rocks that's like 45, 50 feet long and about 10 to 15 feet tall is actually a large pile of bones that are just picked completely clean of any sort of meat or skin or anything. And as you're walking toward this, you see the pile of bones start to shift a little bit. And as they shift, out of the pile of bones, you see this large figure, not quite as large as the figure you saw at Monaco that was destroying the city, but about a quarter of this size, just step up and stand up, not completely straight, its back just kind of hunched forward, these like long elongated arms and fingers. And as the head kind of comes upward, you see this singular eye in the center of this massive head looking down at you, and it just blinks this like mucus sounding like noise as it blinks at you. And as it sees you, it opens its mouth and just
How big? Oh, you said a third of the height, or
from the size of it, it looks to be about 12 feet tall. If it were to stand upright, maybe 15 feet or so.
that's
But it's
big.
still fairly large, even hunched over as it is. It's got spiny like spikes sticking out all over it.
Body?
What's that?
Spiny spikes, what?
Like spiny, like dark spikes sticking out all over its back and spine. The skin itself is like a dark purple. It almost looks like a hide off of like a reptilian creature, but it's not scales, if you will. It's all dark. It's not wearing any clothing whatsoever, and it's sort of hunched over, looking down at you as it just gives this large, massive roar.
What's the dong situation
Can I
like?
do an investigation check to see what type of soil is around me?
It's, to answer you, Phil, it's definitely dropping dong. And then Chandra, what'd you say?
I'd like to do an investigation about what type of soil around me.
Well, you would have time to do that, but it charges right towards you. And that is where we're going to end the session. Unless you guys want to go way further into a battle, that would probably take quite a while. Yeah. So that is where we're going to leave off with the battle with this large creature. So everyone that is... Let me turn that off and turn this off. Mess with the music here. Everyone that is watching, thank you for hanging out with us on this Thanksgiving Eve stream. Ted, Chandra, Phil, awesome session today. I know threw a lot of like weird situations at you, and I think you handled them well. Let's see how you handle this next one, because this is going to be a very interesting encounter that you're going to have. So do keep that in mind, that we're going to start off next session with a intense battle. So, good job, everyone, is what I'm trying to say in a roundabout way. Cyrus, yes, GG's all around. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Shazandra, thank you for the follow. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Is that the Gnostic? Can I ask that?
From the description that Saku Darkbreaker gave you, you probably get the idea that that's a Nothic.
Yes. Okay.
But you don't know for sure. So with that, I just want to say thank you to all who hung out with us tonight. I hope you all have an awesome Thanksgiving tomorrow. May it be easy and restful. Try not to eat too much, and definitely drink a lot of water while you are just engulfing all the foods that you possibly can. So enjoy your time with your family and friends, and please be patient with yourself and others. Simple thing you can do to make this world an easier place to live in. And as always, definitely stay hydrated. As I took like maybe 2 sips out of this thing throughout the whole session. How about you guys?
Yeah, stay hydrated, and as be sure to stick around as a thank you for us meeting our follower goal for a very special post credit to this episode.
Oh yes, Marvel after credits, hip hop rap. It's probably going to be 6 lines, if anything, as I'm rapidly trying to come up with something right now. But yes, thank you all for being here, and we will see you next time. This to this. Stream is ended. All right, I don't know if I should just do this, or what do you think? Just no beat whatsoever? Should I just...
I can pull up something like a YouTube thing if you want. You just want some general background.
Well, we don't want to get a DMCA scratch against us or whatever.
Yeah.
No, we need some time. I don't think right now.
Wants you to prep something good.
Wants me to prep something
mean,
good. I don't know how much time I would. I mean, even if I had all the time in the world, it's never going to be good. So
The only thing that's going to be entertaining about it is that
next episode, so you have a little bit of prep time.
A little prep time.
Yeah.
your call, Angelo. I'd say just do it now, but it's up to you.
you know what? I'm going to give the viewers what they want, and I'm going to give them something nice. I'm going to actually give them a decent song to listen to. So I will hold off. I will give you this. What's that?
We'll be the judge as to whether or not it's decent, but yeah.
He says right now, you get an extra week. I want wizard raps. I mean, if this was Harry Potter, it would be ridiculoso.
Hey, if he's getting an extra week, I think Ted needs to be involved in some way, though.
Yes.
I mean, that ridiculoso was definitely a good one.
Ted has
I
been.
think that would be a very, very great thing for our viewers. Very great.
He's been talking big.
Yeah.
He's been neither a shower nor a grower.
Oh my
We'll
god,
see.
that's funny. We'll see what happens. All right, I will write something. Viewers that are still here, we definitely still have a few. Thank you for hanging out with us. I will deliver the goods next week.
Disappointing.
We will be all right, Kevin Sorbo. Just take it easy. We will be on a regular time next week, next Tuesday.
Sounds good.
Alrighty, everyone, have a great evening.